Sorry about that. I accidentally stopped recording when I was working on number 18, so I'm going to just start it over. So for number 18, we have the square root of x plus 9 is equal to the square root of x minus 1. So we have a minus 1 here. However, this radical is already isolated on this side, so we can't do anything else except square both sides, right? So we're going to square both sides. And on this side, it's going to get rid of the radical, so we are left with x plus 9 is equal to, and then on this side, we're going to be doing the same thing. This is square root of x minus 1 squared is the same thing as the square root of x minus 1 times the square root of x minus 1, right? So we're going to be using the distributive property. So we have square root of x minus 1 times square root of x minus 1, right? So very similar. We're going to be using the distributive property, except we're multiplying radicals now, but we know how to do that. So we have the square root of x times the square root of x, which is the square root of x times x, which is x squared, right? Then we have the square root of x times negative 1, which is negative 1 times the square root of x. Then I have negative 1 times the square root of x, which again is negative 1 times the square root of x. And negative 1 times negative 1 is positive 1, right? I have a common radical here, so I can combine those, right? I can combine the coefficients. The coefficients are both negative 1. Negative 1 minus 1 is negative 2. So this is negative 2 times the square root of x, right? I know that the square root of x squared is just x. So I have x minus 2 times the square root of x plus 1, right? Hope that part was simple for you guys to understand since we have been doing that. If not, let me know. Send me a message on Canvas. So I have x minus 2 times the square root of x plus 1. All right, I'm going to erase this so I can check my answer later. All right, so we have to solve for x now, right? And we have the square root of x here. So we're going to eventually have to square this, right? So that means that we want to get this negative square root of x by itself so that we can square everything, right? So I'm going to move everything from this side, I'm going to move over to the left side, right? So I'm going to subtract x from both sides. These end up canceling each other out, right? And then I'm also going to subtract 1 from both sides. So 9 minus 1 is 8. So I have 8 is equal to negative 2 times the square root of x, right? So we're getting closer to getting this radical on its own. We always want to isolate. If you have a radical in an equation, you want to isolate the radical so you can square both sides and get rid of the radical, right? So now I'm going to divide both sides by negative 2. And 8 divided by negative 2 is negative 4 is equal to, and these cancel out, so I have the square root of x. All right, so I've isolated my variable now, right? So I'm going to square both sides so that I can get rid of this radical. All right, so negative 4 squared is negative 4 times negative 4, which is positive 16. So 16 is equal to x, right? Squaring the square root of x gets rid of the radical, and I'm left with just x. All right, so this is my solution that I got. So now let's check if it works. So I'm going to plug in 16 in for x. So I have the square root of 16 plus 9 is equal to the square root of 16 minus 1. So 16 plus 9 is 25. And I know that the square root of 25 is 5, right? So this is 5 is equal to square root of 16 is 4 minus 1. 4 minus 1 is 3. So this is saying 5 is equal to 3. That is an incorrect statement. So that is not a solution. So number 18 is a no solution. So I hope that made sense for you guys. If you guys have any question, please let me know. Send me a message on Canvas. I'll be happy to help you out. And if you guys need any additional help, I'm happy to Zoom or anything. But just let me know.